Welcome everybody to the 1983 Offshore World Championships here at Key West, Florida. We've got boats from all over the world today: Italy, New Zealand, England, Germany, Belgium. We've got some Hawaiians, and we've got, of course, our American competitors. This is a real world championship. We've got UIM sanctioning this year. It's going to be a whale of a race. The seas are calm, the weather's beautiful. We're going to have another high-speed, record-breaking day. One of the powers behind offshore racing, of course, is Mercury Marine. We're here with Dick Jordan, the president of Mercury Marine, down from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to Key West, Florida to see the World Championships. Who's your key entry here today?
Oh, I'd say it was Popeye. Yeah, with his rig and his driving experience and the record he's got this year, I'd say he's the prime entry.
What does Mercury get from offshore racing besides development, do you think?
Oh, it enhances our image throughout the entire marine industry. We're known as a performance-oriented marine engine, both in the outboards, Merc cruisers, and even in inboards. And whether we like it or not, a heck of a lot of the boating industry is connected with acceleration and speed, or what we call performance, and that gives us a good performance image. And that, together with the technological knowledge that we gain, is just makes this effort worthwhile.
Okay, so you've got a real dedication to high-performance products, then.
Oh yeah, it's an integral part of our industry, and it's an integral part of Mercury Marine's daily efforts, really. If you're in the marine industry, you've got to be in high performance.
Okay, well, Mr. Jordan, having been in the marine industry a while, you are the force in the industry as far as power plants are concerned, and we wish you the best of luck and know you guys are going to be behind the sport and behind high-performance boating in general for a long time to come. Good luck.
Thank you.
Terrible Bob Shear, Shear Terror.
That's too sweet.
Got yourself a national championship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Richard.
All right, now today we got calm water again. What's the strategy?
Well, it sure shifted around since yesterday. It's I don't really think it's going to be as calm on a couple of legs as everybody thinks it is, so it's basically going to have to run when you can and back it down when it's rough.
And who's your competition today?
Oh, it's always David Gilmore and Sassoon, and then you got Bob Carrick and Cougar. Of course, if it is choppy, you got Seahawk. And then you've got Still Crazy. He can be right up there also.
Got yourself a national championship through consistency. It seems like for the first, or the last 2 years, you've had a lot of problems breaking down. What's the difference this year?
Well, we quit building the really high horsepower motors and went for the longevity. And then when we put the harnessings on, we got to the point where we could back it down and still be competitive, and the motors have lived all year.
I understand the boat's faster now than it was during the season.
We did some bottom work on it, and we should be back up right where we were at the New Orleans race when it ran the best.
Okay, Bob, well, you've been exciting to watch for the last 3 years in this boat, and we hope today you get yourself a nice world crown to add to your national crown. Best of luck.
It'd be nice. Thank you, Richard.
How fast is the boat running right now?
Oh, as you know, with the world record, we turned a little bit over 100, and it'll do 100. You know, next year we're going to have a new Chris Cat, and we're going to try and get the speeds up to about 110, 112.
So you have something in mind for increasing your own record?
Yes, the boat is 82 world champion. Hopefully today it'll be the 83 world champion. And next year with the new Chris Craft, we hope to be a national champion.
Okay, we're hearing Chris Craft over and over again. It looks like that new Chris Craft cat's going to make a real splash. Got some top flight teams already. Best of luck, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Butch Ryan Express, national champion in sport class. We're at the World Championships this time. How does it look?
Depending on the water out there, it's going to be one hell of a race between Willie and Mike and I believe. Have a good time. 4 hot boats.
Okay, how fast you figure the speeds are going to get to?
110, 112.
You have a boost valve in your cockpit?
Yeah, wastegates are adjustable by gauge or by controls in the dash.
So you can go all the way today with all the power you got?
Yeah, we run 115, 116 if we have to.
Okay. Willie's back. I talked to him this morning. He's eager and ready to get going. He says he's running flat out.
He always does.
So what else is new, huh?
Yeah, he puts it to the wall as soon as he gets in it.
How rough do you think it's going to get?
I don't know. It's supposed to lay down a little more than it is now. There may be 3 to 4s out on the other side of the reef, but I don't think it's going to get rough at all.
Okay, Butch, it looks like you're going to get into what may be the fastest race in offshore history, certainly in the performance classes. We wish you the best of luck, and take it easy out there.
Thank you.
Try to keep below 125, huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Ernie Schmidt, the Executive Vice President of Chris Craft, and we're here with him today. Ernie, what is it that's going on behind the scenes at Chris Craft?
We've just recently reached an agreement with George Linder for the design of a new 30-foot high-performance cat that we'll be using both for the APBA ocean racing circuit and for pleasure boats, really.
Say, how big a cat is that?
It's a 30-footer. It's going to carry about an 8-foot, 8-inch beam on it, and we're designing it primarily for inboards rather than outboard.
Okay, George's boats right now hold the records, I think, in 3 out of the 4 offshore classes.
True. Yeah. The Shadow Cat, which he designed, is one of the boats that now holds those records you're referring to. And the boat we're designing has a lot of different properties to it based on the last 2 years of what George has been experiencing with the Shadow Cat. And what we're hoping to do is incorporate those changes in our new Chris Cat.
So this will be an improvement, certainly, on that old Shadow Cat design.
We certainly hope so. Yes.
Now, you're going to race this boat as well, is that correct?
Yes. We've placed our first boat with Joey Ratner, the driver of Ooh La La Says Sun, and for the 1984 circuit, he'll be campaigning in a new Chris Cat.
Mike, you've got calm water today. What does it look like to you?
Well, it's almost like a miracle. It sure hasn't been too calm in the past. It looks like we're doing pretty good this morning, but in sport class, it's going to be a hell of a race. I think there's 5 boats that are really competitive. Willie Diaz has shown up, and he was a defending world champion. Dan Weinstein's running real good. All of us are going to be running real good, so I think it's going to be just how everybody plays it. It's going to be a big game out there.
Butch Ryan remarked that he's going to go full boost and full speed.
Well, Butch is sure a strong competitor. Obviously, he's US 1 this year. Everybody has their problems. I think that everybody tries to sit down before the race and figure out what they didn't do, what they didn't tighten down, and I guess we'll find out there, won't we?
I think so. This may be the fastest offshore race of all time that you're about to get into.
Well, it's hard to say because all the races have really been getting fast. The tunnel boats have really been coming a long way, as you know. We're the only boats that's really running the outboards for Mercury, and they've been a great support for us, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do something better for them. That's the unique concept of us, and with the 2-cycle engines, we feel we have a little bit more endurance than the 4 cycles do.
Okay, while we're talking about concepts, I should point out that you've just started a new marine venture with Rick Lamore. Innovation Marine, is that it?
That's true. We've been thinking about it for quite a few years, and we've got Mike Peters with us, who was with Halter and Bell Aerospace in New Orleans, and we've got some real good design concepts, obviously, as we have here. We've got some good engine talent and some good woodworking concepts, so we think that we can do some good prototyping work and some innovative changes.
Okay, this boat's been very exciting. The power plants are very exciting. I've worked with Rick Lamore closely for a number of years. We've watched you. It's been very impressive. I think innovation is going to be something to watch.
We sure hope so. Cougar's sure no company to flush off, neither is any of the other engine companies, and we're sure not trying to put the squeeze too hard on anybody, but we're just trying to come out and do something innovative. That's what the company's all about. We do prototyping for any marine company if they ask us, and we're just trying to bring out something new.
Okay, for those of you looking for an innovation, here's the man to see, Mike Drury. Best of luck today, Mike.
Thank you very much.
What do you think about the conditions right now, the new boats, the new rules, and so on?
Well, actually, I think, even though, I've fought the politics in this organization for several years, I think it's good. I know that's the problem with the new superboats that cause a problem with the old Class 1 owners. but you can't hold progress back. It's going to be a very exciting race, and the speeds are going to be unbelievable. In the last year, we've had more technological advancements and happenings and records than we've had in all the history of the sport before. So that's got to be good. When people read on the wire stories that a boat went 125 miles an hour in a race, that's news, and I'm for it.
It's been very exciting this year. We've seen an awful lot of new stuff. I agree with you. Where do you see the sport going right now?
Well, I see a hiatus in the open ones because these would-be heroes are no heroes anymore because they're going to have to be relegated to a subclass. Now, the super boats are going to have to go out and find some well-heeled owners, playboys, or whatever it takes to up that class and get 6 to 10 boats by next year. I think it's going to happen.
How fast do you think this sport's going to wind up going?
I don't think there's any limit. We're at 125 now. We're hitting Popeyes, I understand, hit it close to 130 out in California race. I can foresee 150 miles an hour in the next 3 years. I don't know exactly how, but I think it's going to happen.
All right, John, well, thanks a lot. John Kraus, leading historian in the sport. He probably knows where it's going better than anybody. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
We've got the flag up. The fleet starts to move down the Key West Harbor, down towards Mallory Square, start-finish line. And we're going to shoot for Sand Key. That's our first checkpoint, dead ahead. We've got the Ego Rothmans, Renato Della Valle, the other world champions boat. And we're getting ready to come right down for that exciting start here at Key West. The Offshore World Championships. Take a look at our early leaders right off. There's your flag and there's your start. Right away, the Arneson Special makes a strong move. Breaks right out in front. Followed by the Popeyes Pepsi Challenger coming up on the outside. And the Michelob Light on the inside. And right through the middle comes the Collection. Pretty much the way it was expected to be. We've got very calm water. We can use all the top speed that these boats can muster. Should be a very exciting race. Peter Stuyvesant, Ted Tolman. Up, that is the current world kilo record holder. For some reason, it hasn't been able to match speed with the American boats. The water may be faster in England. Joey Rodriguez in the Collection coming up the pass Tolman now and a run close to Michelob Light. Right now, Rodriguez, after 2 days of racing, is in the lead in the points race here on this 3-race Offshore World Championship Series. Popeyes won the first race but broke in the second race. And Rodriguez in the Collection, as a result of his third and fourth place finishes, is now the leading point holder. Of course, there's the Popeyes. Tony Garcia and Keith Hazel in the Arneson boat currently setting the pace. And Michelob Light and the Collection are locked in a neck-and-neck duel. Right now, it looks like these boats are just satisfied to stay together in a pack. Nobody wants to take the lead. Of course, Popeyes has the speed whenever he needs it. Al Copeland, Billy Soroy have quite a machine there. As we've seen so many times, when he wants to, he can really go. Rodriguez, as we said, he's the early leader. His throttle man is Jack Studeville. He has the best overall points record so far. He's the leader going into this third and final race. By no means does that mean he has it locked up, but he's got a lot of speed. He's been able to hold off most of the other boats when he wants to. The boat, of course, Arneson drives, KS&W powered, aluminum big blocks. It's an aluminum Cougar Cat, the Collection. Rigged by Jack Studeville. Very strong boat. And Alan Brown told me that of all of the Cougar Cats currently running with twin automobile engines, this, he believes, is the fastest one. It's quite an advertisement for a exotic car dealer from Fort Lauderdale. up to Sand Key checkpoint. Very, very good time. I guess we made it out here in about 3 minutes flat. Tom Gentry, Sam James in the Michelob Light running in third place. Running a very, very strong third place. We're about 100 yards behind the lead boat, the Arneson Special, and we're about 70 yards behind the Popeyes Pepsi Challenger. You see they're running quite a bit looser than Joe Rodriguez was, who's right behind them. And it's obvious that Sam James is using a lot of trim, trying to extract the maximum speed out of this baby. Our airspeed right now is a healthy 92 miles an hour, which is not too bad in flat, calm water with a full load of fuel. And I might add downwind. We're probably running in the neighborhood of 100 right now. The boat, of course, is the time-honored Cougar Cat, originally the Arneson boat, but now owned by Bernie Little. As you can see, they're really getting, whoa, they're starting to get some real rollers out here. And just like that, we come to the Sand Key checkpoint. We're in the ocean. The real ocean, not inside the reef. Popeyes takes the lead around the turn, and Michelob Light falls smartly around the turn. And where are we going? Are we going inside or are we going outside, fellas? Okay, here's your first drag race of the day, Arneson Special, Popeyes Pepsi Challenger. We've decided to stay outside of the reef, and it is calm out here. Very, very calm. Of course, it's calmer in the Popeyes than it is in the Arneson, but you can see that they've got full trim, and he's just having the smoothest ride of his life. Arneson won the Thursday race. Popeyes won the Tuesday race. These boats have had the speed. And of course, I suspect that the Arneson, the Popeyes boat is holding back a bit because it just doesn't need to use full throttle. It can just kind of wear you down. And as we speak, he makes a little bit of a move, raises up his speed about 1 mile an hour, and begins to pull the Arneson boat. Nice, gentle swells out here. Nothing for the drivers to worry about. All right, our third leader, Tony Garcia, Keith Hazel in the Arneson Special, number 70. This boat has the speed. We've seen that over and over again. It's anybody's race right now. We've got the best equipment in the world. It's too early to pick a winner. Of course, we have the Popeyes holding back, but these other boats, any one of them, Arneson, Michelob Light, or the Collection, could be the eventual winner of this race. You can see it's a little bit rougher for the Arneson boat than it was a second ago for the Popeyes. They're starting to launch over these swells. Our speed right now has decreased considerably. We're looking at, I guess, about only 80 miles an hour. So we're taking it very conservatively. Okay, a very, very leisurely pace. To move early is the surprising Merc Cruiser Special of George Morales. This boat was put together very recently. It's a 45-foot Cougar aluminum hull, and it's now running in 4th place. It's got three, count them, three 700 horsepower Merc Cruisers. Powered by Tony at the throttles. It's a brand new boat, a brand new concept. The first Super V boat. The first boat in the size of the Popeyes in a V-bottom configuration. And right now it's in 4th place. Although it is breaking up quite a bit, it's making a nice move on the leaders. Second checkpoint, 4th place boat, Merc Cruiser Special. Armin Wiegert, Jim Cabasta are to be congratulated for putting this baby together. sponsored by the people at Mercury Marine. It's got a fairly new bottom design, a step bottom. We played with that a little bit on the shadows and found that they were much more stable. As you can see, the bottom of the boat, there's an actual step right on the V on the pad. A lot of engine noise coming out of that thing. There's some tremendous bangs and crashes and whatever.
We have a start of the sport class coming out of Mallory Square. Here they come. Throttles down. Getting their trim happening. I think it's El Boss up front. From what I can tell right now, can't really see yet. Looks like El Boss up front. We see Express. We see Innovations. On the outside, we see Power Play. It looks like Innovations is out in front. Innovations out in front. It's the Express second, El Boss third, Power Play fourth. Taking out the Sand Key out of Mallory Square. Let's go back to the chopper.
Lou Cooper running in 5th place in the sport class. The Gray Fox is trying again for a world championship. Out here in the roughest part of the course so far, we're off the reef, the offshore leg. Right now your leader, of course, is Butch Ryan in the sport class, followed by Dan Weinstein in the power play. And the rest of the pack is bunched up around here with Seahawk and Gallowine. Willie Falcone, Gus Falcone, Seahawk, S17, 3rd place right now in sport class. They've just finished the rough leg, starting to come back into Key West and Stock Island Channel. We're going faster than last year in the sport class, and the water's a little bit rougher. They've had tough luck getting their water all year. It's not their fault. Word is that they'll be running a big cat next year. They're actually clocking higher speeds than the open boats did before. They're running about 85 miles an hour right now. Make that 92 miles an hour. Okay. You can see how much work is going on in there. He's leading 2 cats, the Maelstrom cat and the Gallowine cat. So he's holding his own. Right now he's looking at Express and Power Play. They're about a quarter of a mile ahead of him. So he's doing real well.
Comes the start of the modified class. It's a wide field at this point, coming out of Mallory Square, headed out to Sand Key. Let's see who's in the lead. Right at the start of this race, right in the beginning, coming past us. We have Sassoon, we have Ooh La La, Sassoon out front. We have Sheer Terror pouring it on the inside here, Sheer Terror. Miss Maxim, we see Y100, we see Forerunner, we see Erickson. The outside of the track. Okay, Rich, let's see who's taking the lead out there in Sand Key.
Knew this was going to be a drag race. Wow. This is incredible. Both of these boats are way up over 100 miles an hour, running along the shoreline. The Maelstrom cat of Mike Drury is not anywhere to be seen, and I guess Willie Diaz didn't make the party either. That's a shame because all 4 of those boats can really make a race. But no matter, we have 2 guys who are holding up the honor of the class, and boy, are they ever. We are really booking along right now. Power Play is trying to catch Express, and it looks like he's going to catch him. We haven't really gained on Power Play a whole lot, and we're still reading up over 120 miles an hour. So here's your story. sport class running 120 miles an hour and climbing every race. How fast can these guys go? We're at 125. We're beginning to pull on power play and express. They're going between 120 and 125 miles an hour airspeed. And the wind today is negligible at best. Wow. Okay. Express Butch Ryan, national champ. Hit a couple of wakes and had to back off a second, but here he comes again. That big Frostways Express boat, turbocharged D-stroke big blocks. Arneson drives by second effort, Gary Garbrecht. The APBA US 1 sticker on the side says it all. Butch looks over at us and keeps right on boogieing along. He's got reason to be proud this year. He's done a super job. He had some tough luck the first year with that boat. He had a lot of work to do. He said he'd get his homework done. He said he'd rectify all his problems, and boy, has he ever. They have just come down the beach with incredible speed. Danny Weinstein is trying to come out on the outside now, maybe to turn on the inside of him in the harbor. What incredible speed we're seeing.
Okay, here we are at the start of the pro stock, coming out of Mallory Square. We can't see who's in front right now, but we have a wide field. Looks like in the lead. On the outside, Black Duck. Looks like Black Duck on the outside. Black Duck on the outside, headed out to Sand Key. Town and Country Catamaran on the inside. Town and Country Catamaran pouring it on the inside, headed out to Sand Key. Let's go back to the chopper, see how they're doing up there.
Fabergé Racing Super Brute, Jerry Jacoby, Wayne Vickers, Hawk-powered Cigarette, last year's national champ. Looking good, strong, running right now in about 5th place in very calm seas for Jerry. We've just been told that the Michelob Light is dead in the water. We've also been seen the collection go back to the pits. So right now attrition is starting to take over. 2 of the 4 fastest boats are out already. And Jerry and Renato Della Valle and the Rothmans are tied in the Battle of the V-Bottoms. Running very close together. The Rothmans, of course, is a CUV hull from Italy, an aluminum V-bottom. The Super Brute, of course, the familiar American Cigarette. We're on our way out to Smith Shoals, which at times can be the roughest part of the course. But right now in these flat seas, these boats are running full trim, launching quite a bit. We're getting some pretty good rollers right now. Interesting seas. It's rougher than we thought it would be. Now the Europeans, Della Valle in particular, is known for their rough water prowess. They love it rough. And these guys are really leaping. Jerry's been waiting for rough water. The show is tough. He hasn't lost his hand, that's for sure. Look at these guys leap. This is classic offshore racing. Climb and fly. Side by side. Yeah, all right. Got Wayne Vickers in there doing a terrific job. And they're making a move on the Rothmans. Right now, there goes the Super Brute. And just like that, they exert their dominance. That Hawk power really came on when they needed it. American versus Italian. Fabergé versus Rothmans. Yeah. What a drag race, what a duel. Jerry Jacobi and Renato Della Valle. Wow. I wouldn't want to call a race between these two guys until the very finish. Yo! All right. Moving right along, 80 plus miles an hour and 4 foot Cs, 4 or 5 foot Cs. Okay, our leaders are coming back from Smith Shoal, but these guys have a whale of a race on their own. Yo, look out, Jerry. Little control problem in there. The rough water has made a complete change out here. Arneson Special's now running in third and losing. Popeye stays right in second place. Your new leader is the Merc Cruiser Special, George Morales. The water has roughened up quite a bit, and in the last 2 years, we haven't seen too much of it, so maybe these guys are losing their touch a little bit. Keith Hazel, of course, a lot of experience, and they're still well in advance of the other boats. Let's see where we're at. Arneson was second going into this race in points. Michelob was third, and Popeyes was fourth, all within 70 points of each other. So a first ensures any one of these of the overall victory. The Michelob was reported down. I think it's running again. The collection is no longer in the race. Merc Special US 1 right now leading the race. Merc Cruiser Special. All right, Seahawk. They've moved up smartly in the rough water. This is the water they wanted. They get one shot at it out on this leg to catch Express and Power Play. Their flag is hanging off the transom, broken. It's rough out here, fellas. They're ahead of the Michelob lifeboat, which is limping along badly. And we've just been told that the Super Brute has broken down. So in the water that they dreamed about, the V-bottoms are having as much trouble as the Cats. But look at these boats launch. Look at Seahawk and Willie Falcone and Gus Falcone fly. Let's see them at their best in their water. Running over 80 miles an hour and really getting it on. They're closing right in on the leader, Power Play. And Express. Really making a move on Express. Express is really experiencing some problems out here. Look at these rollers. I would say Seahawk's going to take the lead very shortly in the sport class. All right. There's Seahawk. And just like that, Seahawk has passed Express and has got a dead beat on Power Play. Looking at modified class right now, Erickson is out in the lead, followed by the Cougar boat. Here comes Sheer Terror. Dan Weinstein in the awesome Power Play. He had it in the calm water, he has it in the rough water. Really running beautifully out here. Last year's national champion, he didn't repeat. Butch Ryan took that away from him, but he won't take this away from him. World champion Dan Weinstein in Power Play. Whoa, the boat's got some damage on the bottom, it appears. He's coming out of the rougher water right now. He's about to get into the water where he can really book. Hopefully the hull will stay together. And here's Black Duck leading in the P class. Still picking and choosing, feeling his way, getting airborne.
Coming in, Erickson, catamaran, pouring it on. Right behind him, Ooh La La, Sassoon. First and second place in the modified was Erickson and Ooh La La Sassoon. Coming in now is a catamaran called Cougar Catamaran. Here comes a modified boat called Sheer Terror. Go get him, Bobby. Right up there with the leaders in the modified class was Sheer Terror, and now here's Seahawk M2. Coming into Mallory Square. Looks like we have first place in Pro Stock coming in at this time. And it's Black Duck coming in, Pro Stock. He's in the lead at this particular time. Right behind him is the Town and Country Catamaran. Here they go.
John Emmons, Town and Country Chevrolet, second place in P class. Got a significant lead over the rest of the fleet coming into that rough water that we've seen everybody else get their baptism in today. Right now, John's about a half to a quarter of a mile behind the Black Duck of Pete Aiken. Just biding his time. Look at this thing launch. They look like they're having some problems out here. This water is rougher than we thought it would be. There's quite a swell out here. And no one has been able to negotiate it in a way I would consider comfortably. Very rough water. Yeah. M1, Sheer Terror, Bobby Sheer. Third place right now in the rough stuff. The man is a master. He's not too far behind the leaders, Erickson and Cougar, and maybe he's biding his time until it gets calmer later on. He's a master tactician, a master throttler, and a hell of a boat racer. Now look at Sheer Terror go. Jumping and leaping, throttling to beat the band. The boat, whoa, she's getting up in the air. They've just modified the bottom and taken a couple of rockers out of her, so she should be handling better than she used to. And she seems to be hanging a bit better. And there goes Erickson dead in the water, and Sheer Terror comes into second place, just like that. By taking it, whoa! By taking it easy in the rough water and saving his equipment, Sheer is making it look easy. Well, maybe not easy, but certainly exciting. U.S. Offshore National Champion trying to zero in on that elusive World Championship. And he's got it in his sights right now as Bob Carrick is coming closer and closer to us as we get closer to Key West Harbor. Here's your... He's ahead of us. Franz can... Whoa! Franz Kniesel takes the first lead over the K&K outboard boat that's been held all year. This is the first time that Jeff and Ken Calabat Jr. have been headed, and just then Franz Kniesel did it with his Velocity hull. Here come the Calabat kids, and this water is very rough. Let's see how these boys can do. Launching flying, whatever it takes, they'll try it. All right, Franz Kneissl in the Sturtevant Power sponsored V17. It looks like the navigator's having a hell of a ride in the back. His head is bobbing around, something fierce, but they're making a move. They're leading in Class 5 right now, and they're taking a whale of a pounding out here. Push. He talked about being in condition and training. It looks like the training is paying off. The fella in the back, the navigator, is pushing him on. That'll be Dick Sattler. Throttle man Scott Smith is keeping the power to it, and if the engines can take it, it looks like the people can. The boat is spanning nicely, and they're getting into some big seas out here. Look out! I want to see him get hurt. They're getting way up in the air. That Grand Prix racer of Franz Kneissl. Listen to those engines scream. Fighting it out for third place are John Carbonell and John D'Elia. Special edition John D'Elia, the Galleon John Carbonell. We're coming out of the rough stuff now, and these guys have run smoothly and consistently enough to keep themselves with a good shot towards the lead here in the P class. They're considerably behind the Black Duck boat and the Town and Country boat, but other than that, these guys are ahead of the rest of the P class boats, which are strung out about 5 miles behind us. It has been rough. It has been rough. D'Elia and Jack Ray have worked tirelessly on this boat. Got the D-stroke big block engines, state-of-the-art Merc Cruiser lower units, and he's talking about going outboard next year for a change, maybe something a little more portable and easy to work on. I think the boat's really given a good accounting of itself. It won the final race out in California a few weeks ago, and he came into the World Championships prepped for anything that he might encounter. His nemesis, of course, is Black Duck. A few miles an hour separate them, but there's no lack of desire here in John D'Elia and Jack Ray, and I think they deserve a congratulations regardless of what happens today. These guys have run a fine season and have really done a fine job, and they're about to make a move on John Carbonell and the Galleon. As the water calms down, they start to exert their dominance and speed, and they make their move. John Carbonell, what can we say? He's had a calm water season in a rough water boat. He just had a few moments of glory here in his home waters at Key West. He got up to third place, and now it's going to be taken away from him, I think, as John D'Elia in the special edition starts to come on and make a move on John Carbonell. They're coming very close to each other, these two. Hopefully there'll be no contact, and they both break off, and with that, special edition makes a move. All right, John Carbonell and the Galleon, they've had an impressive year too. He's been to every race, he's been consistent. I believe he's finished just about every race. Not always on 3 engines, but certainly with a lot of drive and a lot of aplomb. Never complained, kept on pushing. He's what boat racing is all about. He doesn't have the fastest boat, but he pushed it as fast as he possibly can. And he should be proud. He's gone to every race on the circuit. They've tried their best, and I think they represented Key West in a fine and classy way. Congratulations, John, on a season well spent. In the background, Ooh La La Sasson is down. They will not repeat as world champions this year. It looks like a year that'll be difficult to repeat. The Michelob Lights had difficulty. They're basically out of the running and open. Willie Diaz, we never saw. Reigning world champion in the sport class, Class 2. Ooh La La Sassoon in Class 3 is down. And right now the ACR strobe light of Lance Rubel is running in last place in P class, and they look like they're not going to repeat either. Okay, now we're getting into the stuff. It gets pretty severe out here. And you camera buffs should have your cameras ready. Anything might happen here. They're slowing down more and more. They may not make it to Smith Shoal. May just decide to turn it around, but we'll see. It's a big boat, but we haven't hit the real rough stuff yet. Right now it's giving a good accounting of itself. Surprising. Running about 75 miles an hour, but close to 80. Just don't tip one of those pickle forks. Yep. We saw Jerry Jacoby and the Rothman's boat run through here earlier at about the same speed. Whoa. And now we're going to get into the slop. It gets progressively rougher all in through here. Boy, she can fly. On and off the power. Now she's giving him a smooth ride and maintaining a respectable speed through here. I can't say the other boats went a heck of a lot faster other than the Seahawk boat. Well, whoa, wait a second. Now we're starting to get into the big stuff. Take it easy on that boat and those engines. You probably can't see the waves on the video, but boy, she is jumping around. Look out. In the lead, second time out to Smith Shoal, showing him how it's done. The big cat. Bill Saroy said there is no rough water where this boat is concerned. We're getting into those big, big waves. Let's see how she takes them. Beautiful, beautiful ride. No sweat, no strain. Look at this boat carry. No problem whatsoever. 2,800 horsepower. Let's see, we're clocking 80 miles an hour. They're on their second big lap. They've got a couple of short ones to go, and then they'll be world champions, 1983. All right, as we make our move towards Smith Shoal, I see to my left the US-1 of George Morales, the big V-bottom, is hanging right with us. It's down to the two superboats right now. Look at this boat handle through here. TDC Racing, Tim and Mike Chisuli and the Miss Maxon. M22. Boats looking good. They wanted rough water, they got some. Right now they're running in fourth place. Looking very good. Two cats and one V-bottom in front of them, the Y100. And of course the two cats are the Sheer Terror and the Cougar of Bob Carrick. But they sound good and look good in that Maxon Pontiac entry. Beautifully prepared Sutphin boat with engines by Terry Phillips. Maxon Pontiac from Union, New Jersey. Passing by the beautiful pier house. Pete Aiken, Tom McCoury, and the Black Duck, capping off an excellent season. National champions 2 years in a row, coming down to be that world champion winner that they wanted to be and almost made last year. They're going to get it this year, running a super race way out in front. They've led from wire to wire. The Black Duck. Pete Aiken has shown a lot of foresight. He's had a beautiful racing career. He's talking about retiring. His wife and family are here to see him. I hope he doesn't retire, but if he does, this is the way to end it. The man is a winner. This is how you go out in style. World champion. Black Duck. We know we'll see Tom McCoury again. Congratulations, fellas, as they zip by the hundreds and thousands of spectators here at Key West, gathered around to watch them win that World Championship of Offshore Powerboat Racing. Boy, are they consistent. And very fast. Look at the crowds in the background. Every wharf is covered with people. These are real crowds, not manufactured ones. They're here to see a boat race. Up in the condominiums, there's the pier house, wall-to-wall people. There's your world champ, 1983, Black Duck. Flying Butch Ryan, 118 miles an hour right now, coming down to the finish. US 1 in sport class. U.S. and World 1 right now. Your new world champion, world record holder, American APBA champion, High Point champion. The man has done it. Congratulations, Butch Ryan and team. You guys have really showed them how it's done. Magnificent season, magnificent finish to a magnificent season. Incredible speed. They're cruising along right now at about 110. This boat can really fly. They had a few moments during the race in the rough water where they fell behind, but when they get in their water, boy, there's nobody like him. He's got the horsepower. Frost Ways, that express hull there. He's become a boat builder this season. Should be proud of himself. His engines have been impeccable. They haven't missed a beat all year. After so much trouble last year, I think they all deserve a real pat on the back for a fine job, a fine job. Coming down to the Key West Harbor. We'll get a glimpse of that checkered flag as they take it. Whoa, he's on it. All right, coming down for the finish at full throttle, I think. Butch Ryan has really put on a burst of speed here for the spectators at Key West. Is he coming through this harbor or what? Wow, what speed. Look at this thing carry. Look at the speed this boat has. What a finish to a season. Here's your checkered flag as the finish line. Congratulations, Butch Ryan, world champion, 1983. Way to go. Okay, the Arneson Special, full trim, giving it all they've got. They've got 1.5 short laps to go. Whoa! Are they flying this boat or what? The last race probably for this hull for Keith and Tony Garcia. They're about 4 miles behind the Popeyes and about 7 miles behind the US 1 of George Morales, so they've got nothing to lose. If they break, they have to win to be world champions, and they're giving it all they've got. Very little of that boat is in the water. Tremendous driving job right now by Keith and Tony. They had the lead early on. They have enough speed to catch the lead boat, but it's got a tremendous lead over them right now. Engines are roaring for all they're worth. Keith looks over here. Whoa! Are they driving this boat or what? That boat is hung out to dry. These guys are not tame. Right now we're clocking about 100 miles an hour. Not too shabby. The Popeyes boat has apparently had some mechanical problems, throwing a tremendous rooster tail. We can see him on the next leg of the race, off to our left. They're moving around pretty quick. Looks like she's getting ready to sink as the Michelob Light. Tom Gentry jumped back into the cockpit. They've got one more lap to go if they want to finish this race. I don't know what Sam James is doing. He's ducked down pretty far in there. The Cat string of dominance has been broken by the new Super V-bottom of George Morales. 3-engine, 45-foot-long Cougar V-bottom. Aluminum construction was enough for the job today. Held off challenges by the Popeyes boat, the Arneson boat, and the Michelob boat. Coming down to take that all-important checkered flag in the Key West Harbor. Very impressive string of races this week. He didn't have a first coming into today, but he did have a third and a fourth, which is enough to give him 394 points. And with this, he'll have 794, and nobody else will catch him. Very impressive wind. It was breaking up before. The engines haven't been strong, but they've been strong enough. Coming in after about 2 hours of racing, not a whole lot more. 2 hours and 10 minutes for 200 miles. Averaged very, very well indeed. Coming through some traffic is George Morales. Coming right down Mallory Square. .90 miles an hour. And here comes your finish line. A little bit further. There you go. Congratulations, George Morales in the Mercruiser Special. Well, Al, Popeyes, Bill Saroy, nice try. You guys had all the speed, all the talent, all the technology, but sometimes luck just has a fickle finger. It was not to be today. So from all of us at Needle Nose, Pete Lewis, our still photographer, Walt Miston, the world's greatest helicopter pilot, Phil Lewis, our producer and cameraman. This is Rich Lewis wishing all of you a fantastic winter. We'll see you next year, and good racing.